So the most important things to remember in putting a parachute in a harness is that the goal is to have a staged deployment. So you want the bag to come out when you throw it, and then all the lines to come out in order. So the way that they're packed in order in here, and then this is going to be the last stage. So you don't want, our only responsibility putting it in the harness is to make sure that this isn't going to get tangled on its way out. So there are a couple different ways to do it. I like to do it from bottom to top inside the harness bag. So I'm going to pull this out so it's straight, so I have less to contend with when it comes to sticking the bag in there, which I'll probably have to twist it a couple times when I get down there to that stage, but the less the better, less work for me. Okay, so I'm going to pull this out, pull this off. Okay, so we're going to have, oh, I meant to ask you guys. We'll do it up the right side because that's where the heads up and down is. On cocoons, it doesn't matter which side the bridle comes out of. On pods, you put it on the side that doesn't open, so whichever side is solid to here. But we're just going to put it right on the right side here. So we're going to go ahead. I just leave a little bit up to like 18 inches. I just leave less than needs to go up the bridle out, up the mains out, because I can always pull more out, but if I've left too much out, I have to stick it back in there and it's a pain in the butt. So I'm just going to pin that in there with the Velcro. I like to leave myself a little pocket down here Velcroed in to snake my line in and help me hold it. So this is really simple. All I'm going to do is snake it back and forth against itself. So that way it's going to come out in order and not tangle on itself. Pretty simple. This particular parachute is small enough when it's packed that I don't foresee any issues with it and this bundle of bridle down at the bottom fitting on top of each other. But if the parachute is too big, like lengthwise, you can always go and just push this down and lay it down like that in the bottom of the harness. But you can do, like, I still, even if I know I'm going to have to do it that way, I still do it like this and then just smush it down in order, because this is just way easier to do it this way.
Are you keeping it pretty much the same distance back and forth?
Yeah, for the most part. So
it's
when
not
you
like
repack,
you taper in, or you just keep it level. Okay.
No, and I'll like to cut the difference. I'll like put some over that way, like a little bit longer. But it doesn't matter. The big thing is when you repack a chute and you go to put it in again, these are all going to form creases. And wherever there's a crease, that's tension on fabric. So when you put it in again, you want to do it bent or folded in different spots. Okay, so we have this. Now we're just going to stick the parachute down in there. Holding those down. It's okay if it pushes up over them a bit. That's fine. We're going to get it in its little pocket. Like I said, this parachute is small enough in its bag that it's not an issue trying to shove it in here. Yesterday I had a parachute that was so big when it was repacked that I was using my full body and it took me like 15 minutes to get it in
about
here.
to pop.
It used to be like that all the time, but modern parachutes are much, much, much more compact, which makes my life so much easier. Okay, so the next step is doing the bungees. You can do the Velcro first, but I found it's just much easier to get the bungees set and then do the Velcro.
Okay.
Because they're nice solid anchors. So what we're going to do, this is another one of those super important things that you need to remember in putting a parachute in, is wherever the deployment handle comes out, it has to be on the outside of these grommets. If it's in here, there's a good chance that when you pull it, if you need to pull it, you won't have the leverage to open these grommets, or the bungees through the grommets rather. So that's just super important. Okay, so we're gonna take these. They come through both the back set of, the inside set of grommets and the outside set. And like I said, I made these super tight because those pins are the older, super small style. Okay. Pull this grommet up. Make sure that stays flat. And it's a little bit of a dance here to get it where you want it, but it'll go. Okay, so we got that grommet lined up. What we're gonna do is help it line up and pull this bungee through. These kind of handles are a little difficult because they grab the Velcro on you. Okay, so we've got this. We're using the string to pull the bungee through. This kind of deployment handle folds over and comes through. Which way do we want to do it? I like it better when they're up, but yeah, we'll do it like this and slide the rest in there. So we're going to do it so that the pin is up. It's just a little reassurance. It's a little harder to pull them out by accident when they're like that. And so you just take this and shove it through the bungee. We have extra deployment handle here, so we're just going to take that. And I leave the strings in until the very end. Because there are times where you accidentally, while moving everything around, pull those pins out. And okay, so we're gonna solidify this right here for ourselves. Okay, so that side is solid. That's where we want it, right there. And do the same thing on the other side. Okay, let's stick those pins through there. I'm going to adjust this just a little bit. You want these set so that there's no tension coming from the top pulling on it, which this one looks great. We'll adjust this one.
So stick the extra under but don't have tension.
Yeah, no tension. You just stick the extra under so that you're not going to like catch it on something. But you leave enough out so that there's just no tension pulling on it from that direction. And that looks really good. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna leave these strings in because as I'm shuffling everything else around, flipping it over to pull the bridle out, there's a chance I'll pull these out by accident because it's so much shifting. It saves me time to still have those in there to redo it. Okay, so then just smooth your Velcro down. Same dealio over here. This is so much easier than the parachute I put in yesterday. Hey Sarah, would you mind grabbing one of those radio pockets?
Sure.
Thanks. They're over in that box under there. The one just to the right of that, they should be one of them. Yeah. Thank you. We might need to order more of those soon.
Yeah, we do. You know, there
You
was-
get one of
wasn't
the
there one
first
over there?
brand new radio pockets.
Oh, radio pockets. All right.
We used to make them out of neoprene, but these are much nicer. And they're easier to stick on once you have this on there.
Yeah, the neoprene ones are interesting.
So before I forget, we'll stick this on. And then we'll go over and do the bridle, which is really easy. There we go. Sweet. Alright. So the very last step is just running the bridle up the mane. So we're gonna take this and everything's straight. So you flip it once. I have to remember which direction to flip it each time, but it just flips a half flip
And so it
one
should stay to the
direction.
back.
Yeah. So this is going to be straight, and then I found the easiest thing is to go and hang it up to do it. Give us some Velcros. Okay. So all we do is run this flat against the bridle so that it can't get caught on anything. Gets Velcroed on there. What do you think you're doing? Hey Timmy, what are you still doing here?
Hey Val. Well, I'm actually about to go. So I wanted to say goodbye.
I thought you were leaving yesterday, otherwise I would have seen what you were up to.
Yeah, I thought I was too, but yesterday I ended up being flyable.
Heck yeah, did you have a lot of fun?
Yeah, a couple little slurs. But, you know, it's pretty cool.
Everyone who came in, I just picked her up.
Alright.
Oh, Val.
And then it gets through
That
this
one on the
Velcro
harness.
right
Okay.
here. There we go. Alright.
Wonderful.
And we're all set. So last thing is just pulling these strings out.
Okay.
And you're all set.
So can we keep those like in a pocket or? And if we, that'd be awesome.
There you go.